Good evening and welcome to the Ohio Association for College Admission Counseling's virtual college fair. Thank you very much for joining us today. Before we get started with our presentation, just a few quick housekeeping items. The first is that attendees are welcome and encouraged to ask questions to any of our presenters at any time utilizing the Q&A feature. Also, just a reminder that your camera and microphone are off, so the presenters will not be able to see or hear you. And there are additional sessions going on tomorrow, so please feel free to sign up for those. And about 1 week from today, a recording of this session will be available on that same registration website. But without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our first panelist, which will be Maine Maritime Academy.
Hello and welcome to Maine Maritime Academy. My name is Brandon. I'm an admissions counselor. This presentation will give you a taste of what we have to offer here. If you have any further questions, feel free to jump in on the question and answer session and one of us will answer that for you. What is Maine Maritime Academy? Maine Maritime is a school providing an exceptional education with the maritime thread. If you have any interest in maritime studies, be it from operating vessels to ocean studies to the movement of goods, you've come to the right place. We're a small school that has just under 1,000 students in our 23-degree programs, meaning that your classes are small and hands-on. On top of that, we offer 7 professional licenses from engineering to deck licenses if you desire to work at sea. Our students are engaged with all that we have to offer with over 30 organizations and clubs to 15 different varsity sports. What stands Maine Maritime Academy apart from any other school is our access to the waterfront campus, providing students with over 60 vessels from training vessels to research vessels to pleasure vessels and everything in between. If you like to be on the water, then you found the best playground you can imagine. MMA offers 3 degrees, an associate's, a bachelor's, and a master's, over 23-degree programs in 4 different schools of study: engineering, transportation, management, and ocean science. In addition, students from our engineering and transportation programs may receive a professional license, allowing them to sail as engineers and deck officers in the shipping industry. A critical component to Maine Maritime Academy's education is its hands-on experiential learning that our students receive. Whether it be in labs or through their summer field experience, students are put in decision-making positions that are going to test their knowledge and ability to provide them with a unique opportunity that is uncommon in the traditional educational setting. This is just a small list of our simulators and labs that our students get experience during their time here at Maine Maritime. A common misconception about Maine Maritime's education is that our students are in some way obligated to complete military service upon graduation. Unlike the federal service academies like Army, Navy, Air Force, Merchant Marine, and United States Coast Guard, only some of our students wear a uniform at Maine Maritime Academy, and none of our graduates, except those who are electing to pursue military service opportunities, are required to serve. What you will see at Maine Maritime is called the Regiment of Midshipmen. Nearly 2/3 of our students' population are part of the regiment, but these students are required to participate in this training program due to the nature of the United States Coast Guard unlimited degree license requirements. Any student, though, may elect to participate, even though they're not in a unlimited license program, but only those that aren't unlimited are required. If this sounds intimidating, believe me, it's not. It's just like nearly every other college, university in the country. We have independent students that gain a traditional college experience. Take it from me, we're not all work and no play. Our students enjoy themselves and participate in clubs, teams, and a variety of student-run organizations. There's something for everybody at Maine Maritime. If we don't have what you're looking for, we want to develop you as a leader and give you the chance to create it. As our slogan goes, we're all mariners. The real value of Maine Maritime Academy's education can be understood through the job opportunities and career outcomes of our alumni network. This is accomplished through career industry training in the summers with internships, co-ops, and getting aboard our own 500-foot training vessel, the state of Maine, or our 88-foot schooner Bowdoin for the summer. Over 90% of our students are employed within their field within 90 days of graduation, but quite possibly the most impressive stat about Maine Maritime is the financial return from the investment on the student's education. Beginning in Castine, these are just a few examples of the type of careers that are and destinations that our alumni quite literally go anywhere and everywhere over the world. Finally, let's take a look at the 2020-2021 accolades on Maine Maritime and how we compare. According to Money Magazine, Maine Maritime Academy is the #1 ranked college for veterans, #2 most transformative college. According to the U.S. News World Report, Maine Maritime Academy is #3 ranked public school, #4 ranked College North, and #10 best value school. I hope you enjoyed what you had to hear about Maine Maritime, and if you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to jump on one of the live Q&A.
Thank you very much, Maine Maritime. Moving on to our next presenter this evening, we have the University of Maryland.
Wonderful, and good evening, everyone. So excited to have you this evening with me here. And my name is Robert Oliveri. I am the Midwest Regional Recruitment Coordinator for the University of Maryland. And this is the last slide. So let me start from the top. I apologize. Here's my name and our contact info. So a little bit about University of Maryland. We have 30,000 undergraduate students. So we're that large university. And what that means is we're the Big Ten campus. We're in a college town. We have a very traditional style university that you can expect out of any large school that you would attend. We have over 800 different student organizations. So what that means is no matter how unique your interest might be, you're going to find your people at the University of Maryland. And there's probably an organization attached to it. So there's a great way to get involved, have some friends right off the bat, and people that are very similar to you. On the other side of things, we have 43.6% of undergraduate students that identify as students of color. So that is phenomenal diversity. And what that means is when you walk into a classroom, everyone's going to look a little different and have a little bit different background. And it's going to challenge some of your beliefs. And it's going to create something that we call at University of Maryland innovation. It's going to expand your mind, and it's going to help you solve the next world's problems. Now, on top of that, you can see at the bottom of my screen, we are ranked #1 by Pride Index for best LGBTQ+ campus life. And we're also ranked #7 and consistently in the top 10 for best Jewish student life by Forward magazine. Now, our location specifically is College Park, Maryland. So again, a true vibrant college town, everything of a traditional college campus and a Big Ten university. We are also wedged perfectly in between Baltimore and DC. We're about 45 minutes away from Baltimore, and we're 4 miles outside of Washington, DC. So you can take the Green Line right to the nation's capital. As you can see, we are a nationally and internationally sought after university, and these are some of the major markets that we recruit in. Now, going into the nation's capital, Washington, DC is very common for a TERP. We are, again, only 4 miles away, and from our campus to the White House is 25 minutes. It's just taking the Green Line right in, and we will have a purple line, which is 5 stops on our campus that will take you right to the Green Line and into campus. So it's very, very convenient. On top of that, Washington, D.C. brings lots of opportunities for every major industry because there'll be a governmental department related to it, historical monuments and museums, as well as arts, culture, and nightlife. So no matter what you're interested in studying, Washington, D.C. will provide you networking and internships. You can see the list of all of our major colleges, which are overarching or umbrella of our 90 different majors. So you can see listed in here, we have multiple different programs. So if you're truly undecided, you have lots of options. You would not have to leave Maryland if you choose a couple different things or are between a few different programs. Now, these are limited enrollment programs, meaning we have more seats available than we do as far as we have more students interested than seats available. So when we're looking at this, we're first going to review you for general admission and then admissions to this major. And when we look at admission to this major, we are going to look at elevated standards. However, if you do not get the direct entry from your original application, you can always internally transfer after your freshman year. All of those logistics and requirements are listed at lep.umd.edu. Inside the classroom, we have a phenomenal educational system. Outside the classroom, we do as well. We have over $500 million in grants that faculty lead with undergraduate students. 86% of our students have at least one internship, 55 have 2 or more, 22% of our students study abroad, that's double the national average, and all of our students participate in service learning, as well as over half are in some sort of living and learning community when they come on campus. That's related to anything above or specific interests and genres related to their major or separate. Now, for our application process, we are a dual application school. We are on both Common App and Coalition. We require all of these items. You'll notice we do require an essay and activities list. We do have 5 Maryland-specific questions, as well as a question about being test optional. We will be test optional for fall 2022 and 2023. Make sure once you complete Common App or Coalition to go through the TERP application portal and answer the test optional question. We do a truly holistic review, so nothing rules you in and nothing rules you out of admission at the University of Maryland. These are some of the these are the 26 factors we review on. If one of them doesn't apply to you, that's completely fine. But if one of them does, please add them to your application for the best read or review. And our early action deadline is essential. So if you've missed everything the last 5.5 minutes, remember this. November 1st is University of Maryland's early action deadline. That gives you priority consideration for the best admissions decision, as well as scholarships and our special programs, including Honors College. And then it's one application. November 1st, you know, you can sit back and relax and you'll get a decision from us by February 1st on your status as a student and becoming a Terrapin. There is my contact info, and I hope to see you shortly.
Thank you very much, University of Maryland. As we move to the second half of our presentation, just a reminder for any attendees who joined us late, please feel free to ask any questions you may have of any of the panelists via the Q&A feature. But up next is the Worcester Polytechnic Institute.
Perfect. Let me just get my presentation open here. We will get started. What's going on? All right. So hi, everyone. My name is Tyler Gibbs. I am a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions with WPI. We're Worcester Polytechnic Institute, located in the city of Worcester, Massachusetts, which is located in the middle of the state of Massachusetts. We're a STEM-based institution with programs that involve science, tech, engineering, and math. About 4,500 undergraduate students and about 2,000 grad level students. So here's a brief overview of things WPI. Like I mentioned, we've over 50 different degree programs, all STEM related, for you to pursue. 12 engineering programs, computer science, game design, business, biology, physics, chemistry, a wide range of things you can pursue. We do have double majors and minors, which is great if it's something you're interested in, as well as 4- and 5-year programs where you can complete your undergrad and master's in just 4 or 5 years. And then something we're most proud of is we actually have a 95% freshman to sophomore retention rate. So hopefully throughout today's quick conversation, you can see why we think this number is so high. So what I actually want to spend today talking about, since it is such a short time, is what makes WPI WPI, and that's our WPI plan. This is something that was created about 50 years ago by administration at the time because they wanted to reinvent the way we deliver our STEM education. So at WPI, we actually have 4 terms instead of 2 semesters. Each term is only 7 weeks, and students only take 3 classes a term. You cover the exact same material in a 7-week term as you would in a 15-week semester. So it's definitely a faster paced work environment, which is great because it prepares our students for their first job when they leave and graduate from WPI. To give you a frame of reference, our students started the last week of January, and last week they took finals in their first 3 courses, and they just had a week off, and they just got back today to start their last 7-week term. They started 3 classes fresh. Our grading policy at WPI is also really unique. At WPI, you can receive 1 of 4 grades, an A, a B, a C, and what we call a no record, which is an NR. And what basically that is if you're going to get below a C in a course, so a D or an F, instead of receiving a D or an F on your transcript, you'll receive an NR. Now, this doesn't show up on your transcript. It doesn't affect your GPA. It'll be as if you never took the course before. Now, there are a couple reasons why we do this. One, to help you with the transition to college. We don't want to punish you if you struggle your first year at WPI. But on the flip side, we want to encourage students to take classes outside their comfort zone, take classes outside their major, and challenge themselves academically without the worry of affecting their GPA. And when I mention our grades A, Bs, and Cs, they're flat A's, B's, and C's, no pluses and minuses. And the reason we do that is to cut out the competitiveness that can come with STEM-focused institutions. As I'll talk about in just a bit, WPI is incredibly project and team-oriented. You'll be doing projects in almost every single one of your courses during your time at WPI in different teams of students. We want to make sure that students are working collaboratively. Now, the third thing before I talk about the last component is our flexible curriculum. At WPI, there's no one set list of courses you have to take for your major. Instead, there are categories of courses you need to fulfill depending on what you're studying. And you get to choose what courses you want to take to fulfill those requirements. So you really get to mold your engineering or your science or your math degree into what you want it to be to get you to where you want to be after you graduate. Now, I mentioned the projects. As WPI is incredibly project oriented, we've been doing project-based learning before it was the cool thing to do 50 years ago. And there are, like I said, you'll be doing projects in almost every single one of your courses at WPI, but there are some large-scale projects you are required to complete in order to graduate. I only have time to briefly talk about 2 of them today, the IQP and the MQP on the bottom of their screen there. The IQP is a junior year project you complete that is more social science based, where you're challenged to use your STEM background to solve a social science problem. And this is actually when a lot of students choose to study abroad because you can go abroad and solely work on this project during an entire 7-week term and you're not taking classes. So you can come to WPI, study engineering, and still graduate in 4 years and study abroad because it's built straight into the curriculum. The last project is the MQP in the bottom right-hand corner. That's a senior year project. Think of it as your senior capstone. This is what you're going to do to prove, say, hey, I learned something studying electrical engineering or aerospace engineering at WPI. You'll work in a team of 3 to 4 students, and you'll get to work on a project if you're choosing to really show that you've learned something during your time at WPI. As I mentioned, the abroad experience that junior year, it counts as 3 whole courses. So as I mentioned, during any given term at WPI, you're going to be doing 3 classes. So going abroad to do your junior year project counts towards your graduation requirement. You can see we have over 50 different project centers all over the world where you can study abroad. Hopefully these will start back up shortly. And we do have a global scholarship that every accepted student at WPI is awarded to put towards their abroad experience to make the cost more affordable. Something I will note, just regarding the admissions process, you can find all our deadlines online, but something that's recently new at WPI is we've moved to completely being test blind. So we do not consider SAT or ACT as part of your admissions process. This is a decision we made because we've been test optional for about 14 or 15 years at this point. We chose to go test blind. For equity reasons, we want to make sure that students have the opportunity to attend the school regardless of how they do on standardized tests, because we don't think that it's an accurate reflection of who you are as a student. So that's something that's new when you're browsing on our websites to apply at WPI. But that's all I have to share now. Like I said, my name is Tyler Gibbs, only redhead on the website. So feel free to find my email and shoot me an email if you do have any questions.
Thank you very much, WPI. Our next presenter will be the University of Massachusetts, Lowell.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining tonight. My name is Alyssa DeMarco, and I am one of the freshman admissions counselors at University of Massachusetts Lowell, aka UMass Lowell or UML. You'll hear me use both interchangeably. Starting off with this great aerial photo of campus, we are located right within Lowell, Massachusetts, a city of about 110,000 people. Super diverse, really vibrant area, and our campus is right in the middle of it, which is great. So as I mentioned, we are in Lowell, which is about 25 miles northwest of Boston. It's a very accessible area. You can drive an hour in pretty much any direction and be all over New England. Our students are able to take day trips into Boston, to the beach, hiking. Again, Lowell is a very diverse area, a lot of different restaurants right within walking distance of campus. So a very cool area to have this kind of melting pot of campus. We do have a little over 11,000 undergraduate students, a little over 18,000 students in total. So we're a good medium size to large size campus. We have done quite a bit of expansion the last 10 years or so, have added a lot of buildings to campus, have added a lot of students, but we have maintained a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which I think is really great. A couple of averages on the screen here, not minimums, averages. Our average GPA for incoming students is about a 3.6, so about an 85 or a B. Is really what we're looking for our students, a strong B average. About 1240 is our average SAT. What we're really looking for is about an 1100 or higher. Looking for about a 23, 22 ACT or higher, but our average is 26. We have been test optional for the last 6 years now. We were the first public university in New England to go test optional. So if you are unable to test, I know everything is so crazy right now, do not stress about that at all. So we do offer over 120 programs of study. There really is something for every one of our students. Very easy to layer multiple majors together, add in minors. We do have college-based advisors who are with our students from their orientation over summer before freshman year through their entire freshman year, specific to the college that they are in. We do offer over 70 different graduate level programs. Many, if not all of those, are able to be a 4+1 rather program. So for 5 years, you're getting your bachelor's degree and a master's degree. It's a great time saver and a money saver if you're interested in getting your master's degree. We do have 6 colleges: the Manning School of Business, Francis College of Engineering, Kennedy College of Sciences, College of Education, Zuckerberg College of Health Sciences, and our College of Fine Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, divided among our North and South campuses. We also have a fantastic honors college. Students are evaluated for that at the time that their application is reviewed. So that's something that will be included in your acceptance offer. We really love our experiential learning opportunities. So we have over 300 study abroad opportunities in a typical year. Our students are able to do internships and research abroad. We offer co-ops for our science, engineering, and business majors. So we have some connections in the Merrimack River Valley area, as well as the Boston area, in Cambridge, with different labs and companies that our students are able to go and experience working full-time with them. We also have a great emphasis on our industry partnerships and service learning, clinicals, practicums in the area. We have Lowell General Hospital right within the city. Our education students are right within our city doing their student teaching. So we really like to take advantage of our space and place when it comes to connecting our students. We have a very vibrant campus, about 275 different clubs and organizations, about 30 different intramural and club sports. We are a Division I school. Our teams play in the America East Conference. I always say, even if you are not a big fan of sports like myself, it is so much fun to be at a Division I game. Our hockey team is really successful, and they always have very fun and successful home games and seasons. It's such a great experience. We have 11 residence halls on campus. Students are guaranteed housing all 4 years that they would like to live with us. Any student can have a car on campus as well. We are sort of an urban setting, so it's also nice to be kind of walking around if you don't want to have a car. 20 different themed living learning communities. So these are great opportunities to get to know some students who might have a similar academic interest as you or a recreational interest. More than 50 different bands on South Campus, and that is something that every student can get involved in, even if you are not in a music major. And some last things here about deadlines. We do offer 2 different early action deadlines. Our first being November 1st. That is also the deadline for any nursing students. So if you'd like to apply for nursing, you have to get in for that November 5th deadline. January 5th is our second early action deadline, and February 5th is our regular decision deadline. If any of you are still seniors this year, kind of looking around for last minute schools, we have extended into rolling admissions for this year. And we do accept the FAFSA by March 1st as well. We take a few different applications. So we're on the Common App, the Coalition app, and we have our own UMass Lowell app. And again, my name is Alyssa DeMarco. My email is right on the screen there. You can email me with any questions or concerns. We have some great virtual opportunities as well for virtual tours, virtual information sessions. We also have some great Destination UML virtual sessions happening over the next few weeks as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, UMass Lowell. And our final presentation this evening comes from Indiana University, Bloomington.
Hi, my name is Megan Medine. I'm a Senior Assistant Director in the Office of Admissions for Indiana University, Bloomington. And I'm super excited to be talking to you today about IU. I love IU. I graduated from IU and I decided to just stay. That's how great this place is. So established in 1820, IU has built a strong tradition of excellence and innovation, both in and out of the classroom, from nationally recognized academic programs to Division I varsity athletics, all on one of the most beautiful campuses in the country. IU will offer you rich experiences inside and out of the classroom. Our 33,000 undergraduate students hail from all 50 states and over 140 different countries. Personally, one of my favorite things about IU is just the mix of students we have on our campus. IU celebrates not only the geographic diversity of our student body, but its ethnic, religious, political, and socioeconomic diversity that makes our learning community rich. Now, the heart of an IU education really is the ability for students to customize their educational experiences. Something I really want to emphasize today is that there's a lot of opportunity and there's a lot of flexibility. Our 12 schools offer more than 200 majors for you to choose from, meaning that there is something for everyone. Students are able to work with academic advisors and faculty to create an academic program that is uniquely customized, whether it's pursuing a double major, multiple minors, or even creating your own major through our individualized major program. IU students are working toward jobs that are not yet imagined. IU Student Support Services help students succeed during their time at Indiana and beyond through individualized academic advising sessions, academic support centers throughout campus, and our Wells Library Learning Commons. Students have access to tools to help them become the best student they can be. IU's career services as well help students begin their careers before they leave campus by starting early and finishing strong. Our Career Development Center helps students who are still exploring their options, understand their skills and interests, and helps them navigate those IU majors that will help them work in their field of choice. Now, once a student has declared a major, they will take classes with one of our 12 school-specific career centers and have access to resume workshops, internship and career fairs, and the hundreds of employers that come to hire IU students every year. Over 30% of IU students will study abroad at least once before they graduate. IU offers more than 300 study abroad programs in more than 50 countries and 18 different languages, including English. There are no excuses. Please study abroad at some point. We even have a passport service on our campus to help you get your passport because we want you to study abroad so much. More and more, we see students combining their overseas study experience with an internship or hands-on research experiences. At IU, what you will learn outside of the classroom will be as valuable as what you learn in your classes. We have over 750 different student clubs and organizations, 55 plus different club and intramural sports, and a thriving arts and culture community that boasts over 1,800 performances on campus every year. We are a university rich in history and tradition. You can go and watch an opera staged by our world-class Jacob School of Music. You can tour the Eskenazi Museum of Art, a personal favorite. You'll find cultural resources at IU and Bloomington that rival that of a much larger city. And the Hoosier spirit is alive and well on the IU campus. We have 24 Division I varsity sports. Our motto is 24 sports, one team. So all of our students play different sports, but at the end of the day, we're all Hoosiers and we like to support each other. Roughly half of our undergraduate students will purchase season tickets to football and men's basketball. Our 22 other sports are completely free. Assembly Hall boasts the largest student section in NCAA basketball, and it is known as the hardest place to be a visiting team. There's nothing quite like being in the Simon Scott Assembly Hall. Hoosier hospitality is exhibited throughout the state and throughout Bloomington and can be seen on our campus through our Culture of Care. Culture of Care is a campus-wide student-led and staff-supported initiative focused on creating a campus culture in which members of the IU Bloomington community demonstrate care for one another. So through bystander intervention, the Culture of Care initiative empowers students to support their peers. The Culture of Care initiative promotes helping one another, behavioral change, and raising awareness in 4 core areas that include sexual well-being, mental health, alcohol and drug awareness, and respect. Highly recommend you apply by November 1. That is our early action non-binding deadline. That is also the deadline for highest scholarship consideration. The sooner you apply, the sooner you're going to hear back from us, but you have until November 1, and our application opens August 1st. You can complete an application through the Apply IU application, the Common application, or the Coalition application. Here's a list of things that you need to send to us. We need your official high school transcript. We need your fee, which is $65, or if you're eligible, there is a fee waiver. And then your SAT or ACT scores, if applicable. We have gone test optional. And regardless of whether or not you apply with your test scores, you will still have full access to merit scholarships and direct admission programs. Timeline. And that's it. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you very much, IU Bloomington, and thank you to all of our panelists this evening for your great presentations. We do have some time remaining, so attendees, if you have any additional questions, please do send them through the Q&A. While we're waiting to see what comes in, if I could ask our panelists to turn their videos back on, and we'll do a quick round of questions here ourselves. The first question would be, I know 6 minutes is not a lot of time, so what is one thing that you did not have time to include in your presentation that you'd like to quickly cover? It could be an event or tradition on your campus, a fun fact about your school, or just some other piece of information that you really did not have time to include. So we'll go in that same order, starting with Maine Maritime.
Yeah, Maine Maritime is one of 7 maritime colleges that was founded in 1941. And I will just make you all aware that we do have a virtual open house coming up. I believe it is April 3rd from 2 to 6 p.m.
Great, thank you. University of Maryland, there seems to be 2 of you in here now, so please.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I switched over to a little bit better view. So I hope everyone's enjoying my beautiful face. But as far as information, I think one of the things that gets forgotten sometimes is the phenomenal school traditions, especially for a large university. Ours, we have multiple, but one of the biggest ones is our Testudo, our mascot. She has 6 statues around campus, but the main one is right in front of the library. And when you go by, you rub her nose for good luck. And then right before finals, you give her offerings to do well on your finals. So I've seen everything from McDonald's to plasma screen TVs. The larger the offering, the more you need help with success in your finals.
Great, thank you. WPI?
Yeah, so I guess something else to touch on about WPI is just our campus community. Being about 4,500 undergraduate students, I like to say it's a school that's nicely situated between a small and a medium-sized school where you get to know pretty much all of your classmates, but you get to mix around who's in your classes, which is really nice. You get to meet new people as you kind of go through your time at WPI, and the fact that you're going to a STEM-focused institution, all the students on their first day have at least one thing in common, and that's that they're interested in studying STEM. And I'll just also plug, we have a number of different virtual info sessions and virtual tour offerings going on right now that I encourage you to check out, and we hope to be doing on-campus visits this summer for folks who are looking to get to campus.
Great, thank you. UMass Lowell?
Yeah, so I would add that we have a great focus on experiential learning, as I kind of touched on in my presentation, but we have a strong focus on industry partnerships. And so the last 10 years or so, we've undergone a lot of transformation on campus, and we've really focused on building those with companies and labs in the area. So we're able to update facilities on campus and bring those opportunities to our students. And then quickly, in terms of a tradition, on top of one of our residence halls, we actually have a pair of live river hawks. The river hawk is our mascot, and we have a pair that live on top of one of the residence halls. We have a great nest cam on them, and our students love seeing what they're up to.
Great, thank you. IU Bloomington?
I love that. I wish we had a mascot. We don't. That's our fun fact. No, what I really love about IU is that we're in the middle of 3 state parks and we're right next to the largest lake in Indiana. I think Bloomington is just the perfect combo of there's nature and hiking right there. It's super easy to get off campus, but also Bloomington is a really cozy town, about 70,000 residents. So as you are looking for at colleges and universities, getting a feel for where you want to go, I think it's also really important just to look at the town where you're also going to be moving to. You gotta love this school and you gotta love the town.
Great, thank you. And last question, the one that every student wants to know, either what's one piece of advice as an insider you have for someone going through the college search process or applying, or what's a frequently asked question that you receive that you really think is important to address. And so should we flip up the order? We'll start with IU Bloomington.
My biggest piece of advice is that there's no such thing as too much information. If you think something's important, if you think it's relevant, if you think it's something that we should know as we're reviewing your application, you should go ahead and tell us. There have been times where I've reviewed transcripts and I've seen grades dip or go all over the place and the student hasn't talked about it at all in the application or in the essay. Only share as much information as you are comfortable sharing, but also, share as much as you think that we need to know so that we are making an informed decision on your application.
Great, thank you. UMass?
I think particularly this, last year and coming into this next cycle, you possibly cannot be going to visit every single school that you want to be visiting. And just know that every institution has great programs, great things to get involved in, and you really can't make the wrong choice. And if you make a choice and you feel like you're at the wrong college, you can easily switch and find something that's the right fit for you. But a lot of this is going to be bloom where you're planted, and find those opportunities available at the institution that you choose. And don't stress too much about not being able to visit, because we all wish that we were on campus right now, but it works out. I know it's very stressful, but it does work out.
Thank you. WPI?
Yeah, I would say definitely take advantage. It's been tough, with everything and us being home and not being able to do on-campus visits, but it's also created another really great opportunity because it's forced our offices to create robust virtual offerings that many schools might not have offered before. So I always encourage students to take advantage of that because, you'll learn some great information, but also it's great for us as institutions to see that you have some level of interest in our schools. So I encourage you to, tune in for those 45 half-hour, 1-hour sessions when you can to learn more and also show that demonstrated interest.
All right. Marilyn?
Yeah, thank you so much for this question and everyone for your time this evening. One of the things that I truly, truly preach constantly is going and doing research on universities' research, especially if you're in a STEM field or a research heavy organization or major like career path. You want to be looking at our faculty and what we're researching, what we're passionate about. Make sure it aligns with what you're interested in. You'll see at University of Maryland, we have a whole undergraduate database of research. So you can see all the projects we're working on, the status of them, and what different internship opportunities there are. So really be researching not only the school, but the opportunities, networking, and research specifically that's available for you when you attend that institution.
All right. And Maine Maritime.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of echoing what everybody else has said, but obviously now that we have a lot of virtual information out there, attending as many events as possible If you are able to get on campus, definitely take advantage of those opportunities to really see what those schools are like, and whether they're big schools or small schools, you'll eventually find that right home for you. The more you can visit, explore, and research. But I think the other piece is really understand how much the school invests in you, invest in your future, and how much they're connected with their alumni, and that network and what it's going to do for you. I think is really important as well, because you are making a decision that's going to impact the next 40 years of your life.
Great, thank you. Thank you to everyone for your great insights and for spending this time with us. And we certainly want to thank all of our attendees for joining us. Before we close this session out, do have a few quick housekeeping items. When you close this window, you will receive a very quick 4-question survey that we ask that you take a minute and complete. And again, there will be additional sessions tomorrow, so please do sign up for those if you haven't already done so. And about 1 week from today, a recording of this session will be available on that same registration website. But thank you again to our panelists and to our attendees and students. Good luck in your college search. Have a great evening.